What's going on, everyone? So, Fear Street was a Netflix series. It was a three-part Netflix series that had some real success, right? It was one of like Netflix's best, um, like profit, I guess, series that they ever did. Because I guess apparently it was like dirt cheap for them to create it, and it was like one of their best performing series that they've had, right? And also it came out at a time that was just perfect, right? It came out at a time in which, everyone was at home and still kind of just getting over the whole COVID thing, right? Because it came out in 2021, and, you had just gotten into people starting to get a little comfortable, but still not fully. And, so you had people still staying home and working from home and all that stuff. So I do think that you kind of had a bit of this lightning in a bottle at the same time, but it was something that was really good. Like I enjoyed the three-part series. I enjoyed kind of the layout of it and the way that they approached it, and I thought it was something that is really cool. And it's something that they talked about for literally years after it got released, of them bringing it back and doing more, because there's like 1,000 books. Like there is so much source material. They could do these every year for the next 20 years and still not run out of material, right? So I'm very curious to see kind of which pieces they take from and how they go about this and how they approach this, because we are getting another one. We're getting Fear Street Part 4, and we are going to hopefully start getting more and more information on it, more and more, trailers and all that stuff. But we got our first kind of sneak peek, our first little look behind the curtain of the upcoming Fear Street. And here it is. So you have what appears to be two women that are being attacked by some killer in a red, what is it, raincoat or something? I don't know what this is. But yeah, so as you can see here, clearly they're trying to run away from who or whatever this is. And they break the glass window and they're trying to get out, trying to escape. But you see one of the girls appears to be, dead. She's about to meet her end. She's about to meet her demise. And this is just, again, a little teaser, little piece that they gave us for the upcoming Fear Street. And, I hope that they do a good job with this. I hope that they take their time and really kind of fleshing this out and making sure that they, put together just like a really quality series. Because like I said, I thought the first three were really well done, really well put together, and told a very interesting story and were very creative. Obviously, again, it's R.L. Stine. These were like the adult version of Goosebumps and stuff like that. And if they can continue, like, I'm always for like a horror like anthology series, and any type of horror series. Like I've even talked about even like the classics, right? I'm really excited for these upcoming, like, Welcome to Derry series and Camp Crystal Lake with Jason and all that stuff. Like I think they're, because with horror, you when you do series, you can take your time. You can really flush stories out, and I felt like that's what we got with the Fear Street, right? Like you got they were able to break it down into three parts, and you were able to kind of take your time in properly flushing out what you needed to flush out, right? Each one was, it was one continued story, but each one was an hour and 47 minutes, and it allowed you to take your time to really build the story that you needed to build, right? Or I think the first one was an hour and 47 minutes, and I think it was like an hour and 50 minutes, an hour and 54 minutes. So basically almost 6 hours of content, right? Almost 6 hours of storytelling and build up and character development, and going on the direction you need to get. Where you look at a film, right? A film is usually only, especially a horror film, anywhere from an hour and 30 minutes to 2 hours if you're lucky, right? Like, so you're not able to flush out as much as you need to flush out. You're not able to develop the characters as well as you want to develop them. You're not able to tell the story as cohesive as you'd like to tell. You opening this Fear Street and getting into a fourth part really, I do think gives you the potential to kind of unlock and now tell a new story and take your time, right? If you got to break this down into 2, 3, 4 episodes, right? Like, I'm all for that. I'm not against, like, especially if it's good, right? It would, if it's terrible or it's just kind of like, a bore fest or whatever, then sure, right? Like, you can almost have too much time, right? It is just like, okay, now you have all this filler, and it's just like, okay, can we get to the point, right? We've all seen that movie where you're like, man, you could have cut this. This movie was 2 hours. You could have cut this down to an hour and 10 minutes, right? You could have cut out, an hour of this film, and it would have been so much better, right? Like, and like, yeah, you can nitpick all kinds of stuff, but for the most part, right? Like, as long as it's good and quality, people will sit. I mean, there have been some of the greatest films ever where, like 2.5, 3 hours, 4 hours. Some were multiple parts, right? Like, and each part was like 3 hours. Like, and people, again, if they're into it and it's a good story and you deliver what you're trying to deliver on, people will watch it. People will take the time to however long it is. If it's 8 hours, they'll go through that. I mean, think how many series there are that are, each episode is an hour long, and each, season has 8 to 10 episodes, right? So you're talking 8 to 10 hours, and people just sit there and binge watch it in a day, right? Because if it's good and it's worth the if it's worth going and taking the time out of your day or whatever, then fine, right? So I'm really hopeful that they hit right on this, that they do a good job with this Fear Street saga, and they're able to give us another quality film, because I do think that there is a lot of potential with this franchise, and like I mentioned, you just keep going, just keep making these films over and over and over again. But you got to make sure you do right. You got to make sure that they're quality. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, and I pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? What are your thoughts? You excited for this upcoming Fear Street? You excited for part 4? Do you think, nah, stay away from Fear Street? Don't make any more. Did you like the first 3? Did you not? Lastly, kind of what stories would you want to see them do in Fear Street? Do you have any like stories in particular that you're really fan of, that you want to see them translate to film? Do you like the series? Like horror series, these like anthology style series. Do you think that they should just keep doing this and keep going forever, right? Like, keep doing these as long as you can, or do you think that they eventually could get burnt out or just a little dull? Again, however you feel, whatever your thoughts are, either way, I would love to hear it. So let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. Lets me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.